He was a lone Terran, one of the last soldiers of Earth's failed resistance, dragged through the black stone halls of the Empresskin citadel on the molten world of Vael'shara. His eyes, though bruised and blooded, burned with defiance. Every alien that passed him, gleaming in armor or silk, looked down with contempt. He was a war trophy. To be broken. To be made an example. And that task fell to General Vael'shara, the infamous Flame-Tamer of the Vael'shara. She stood tall, her carmine skin shimmering in the torchlight, blades sheathed at both hips. Her eyes were sharp and merciless, her long mantle made of the hides of enemies. She had broken thousands. She had never failed. "You are nothing," she told him as he knelt, blooded, in her chamber. "And I will carve that truth into your flesh until you believe it." The human said nothing. He simply looked up and smiled. Day 1. They strapped him to the stone rack. Vael'shara didn't use machines. She believed in touch. She scored lines across his back with a ceremonial flame blade, each cut releasing steam as flesh sizzled. He screamed, yes. He bucked and writhed. He was human. But when she looked into his eyes afterward, he smiled again. Bloody teeth. "Is that all?" he rasped. Day 3. She starved him. Fed him lies. "Earth betrayed you," she whispered, gently, like poison on silk. "Your leaders cut deals. Left you behind." He looked thinner. Pale. But his voice didn't waver. "I know," he whispered. "You were disposable. I volunteered." His words were quiet. But they burned hotter than her knives. Day 5. She brought in a mirror. Forced him to see what she'd done. Lashes. Cuts. Bruises. Swollen eye. Lip split. Fingers broken. "Do you recognize yourself?" He nodded. "Yeah," he said. "That's what defiance looks like." She slammed the mirror down in rage. He chuckled. "You're losing." Vael'shara had never hated a prisoner before. But this one, this human, made her feel weak. Not because of his strength, but because of the strange stirring in her chest. The confusion in her thoughts. He didn't beg. He didn't plead. He believed in something. And it made her wonder, what did she believe in? Day 7. He collapsed. His legs refused to move. He bled from every orifice. His body was breaking. She walked in, victorious. "Now you'll beg." He raised his head, barely. His voice was no louder than a breath. "No," he said. "But you might." Something cracked in her chest. She struck him. Then again. Then again. He spat blood and smiled. That night, she didn't sleep. She stood over his unconscious form and studied him. A dozen alien prisoners had broken after half the pain she'd given him. He should be dead. But he endured. Not for revenge. Not for Earth. For something else. Day 9. He awoke to find her sitting across from him. No blades. No guards. Just her. "I've burned worlds," she said. "I've ended empires. You are one man." He nodded slowly. "So why are you winning?" He looked at her. Eyes swollen. Lips trembling. "Because I forgive you," he said. She froze. No scream. No insult. No threat. Forgiveness. A word she hadn't heard in her life. Her entire species believed in dominance. In honor through subjugation. But he gave her something different. Something she didn't understand. Day 11. She tended his wounds. In secret. With her own hands. She told herself it was to keep him alive, to break him longer. But she knew it wasn't that. He spoke now. Not just to defy her, but to see her. He asked about her past. Her scars. She had never told anyone about the whip her own commander used when she was a cadet. How it made her strong, but hollow. He listened. He didn't hate her. He saw her. Day 14. He stood. Weak. Shaking. But he stood. She no longer gave him orders. She no longer chained him. She just watched. And then, for the first time in her life, Vael'shara knelt. "I don't want to be like this anymore," she whispered. "You were supposed to fall. Not change me." He reached down, took her hand. "You were always someone else under the armor," he said. "You just forgot." Tears streamed down her cheeks. Hot, alien tears that sizzled as they touched her skin. She didn't fight them. Day 17. Alarms blared. LRI guards stormed the citadel. Word had spread, Vael'shara had gone soft. The Flame-Tamer had fallen for her prisoner. The council sent an enforcer. One of her own blood. She faced them, blade in hand. The human at her side. "Get behind me," she said. He stepped forward. "No. We stand together." They fought. Side by side. Her flames. His fists. And when they fell, battered and burned, they fell together. But the guards didn't cheer. They hesitated. Because for the first time, they saw Vael'shara bleed for someone else. And that was terrifying. And beautiful. 1 year later, Vael'shara was no longer a prison world. The Empress Kin had been overthrown. A rebellion sparked by whispers of a Terran who could not be broken, and a general who chose love over legacy. Vael'shara now walked without armor. The human, Mark, his name was, walked beside her. They built something new. A place where scars weren't shameful. Where pain could be healed. Where forgiveness wasn't weakness, but power. In the square of the old citadel, where blood once soaked the stone, a monument stood. 2 figures. One scarred by fire. One marked by chains. Standing hand in hand. The inscription beneath read, "You can crush flesh, but spirit endures. And when spirit endures, everything can change."